What you are about to watch is a replay of episode 2 of Conformed to Transformed. It was recorded in July of 2024, right when this ministry was really just getting started. And at the time, I had no idea what my life was about to become. And so, I was rebuilding. I was still new to all of this, really. And I was standing at the very beginning of a decision, one that would really end up changing everything. What you're about to hear is raw, it's unpolished, and to this day, I really think it's probably the most honest thing that I've ever recorded. And so today marks 1,000 days sober, as you all know. And as I went back and listened to this conversation, I realized something that kind of honestly stopped me in my tracks, just stopped me. I'm living out everything that I said that I was going to do. And it's not because of me, but it's because of who God says that He is. It is just so true. This conversation with my brother Cliff Sweazy is incredibly special to me. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you so much for being here. On one hand, I gotta get out of here. I deserve better than this, but I know if I leave, he'll be dead in 2 weeks. Because even
she was loving you through it.
She was loving me through it. Yeah, and so to the point to where I was just drinking so much, even when I was hiding it and sneaking it and still drinking the amount that I was, if I had no accountability, if I had nobody to be afraid of, what if she catches me doing this? And, I probably I would absolutely be dead. I know it.
Welcome to the Bent Christian Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome everybody to another Bent Christian podcast. Remember, Bent Christian is we're a community of imperfect believers that exist to share the message of faith, hope, and love through prayer, resources, testimonies, and these podcasts to everyone, everywhere, every day. And today we have a very special guest with us. Friend of mine and founder of Conformed to Transformed ministry, Mr. Brian Crouch. Thank you for being here.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump into your bio, and I got some thoughts on this because I love your bio. But so Brian Crouch is a 26-year information technology veteran, a lover of Jesus, and a sinner saved by undeserved grace. He is a father in a blended family of 4 teenagers, a husband of an amazing wife, Krista, of 8 years, and wants to use his story of life-changing transformation and deliverance from addiction to see thousands of souls do the same using the mind-transforming power of the gospel and God's will for their lives.
Yeah.
Brian, you went deep fast, man. That's, the whole purpose and foundation of the Bent Christian podcast is to be real and to have people. I feel like God uses people to meet others right where they are.
Yes.
And just to be that raw and open. I want to start off with saying I appreciate your willingness to be so raw and vulnerable. But with that being said, the last part of your bio is probably what hit me the hardest. You see way too many people that are walking with no purpose, no goals, no excitement, and seem to not even understand the power of the Holy Spirit that literally lives inside of us.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
I thought about that after I read that in your bio, and I thought, when you and I met and we shared some tales of brokenness, that's just 2 people. Now, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in God incident.
Same here.
But for us to cross paths, how many others are out there that are struggling or feeling the way that you and I have felt and what you put in there? So anyway, he is passionate about people waking up and realize who we really are through the saving power of Jesus Christ. His life motto verse is Romans 12:2.
That's right. Yeah.
What is that verse for those that don't know?
Yeah, sure. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind in Christ Jesus, so you can know the will of God that is perfect and pleasing to Him. And it's very, very simple whenever you break it down. Don't walk around like everybody else. And like we said earlier, I would venture to say that most people are walking around kind of lost. We meet Christians all over the place, but I'd venture to say that a lot of them are just miserable.
Yeah.
They get up in the morning and they're just hoping to make it to 5 o'clock that day. They don't know what the end is for them. They don't realize that God has a purpose for them, that they are one of one, and that there's something that they can do that nobody else can do. And that if you're seeking His face and His will and you're talking to Him all of the time, Christ came that we not only have life, but that we have it more abundantly.
Yeah.
People take that verse for granted so much. What he is saying is, follow me. It may seem fuddy-duddy, it may seem boring, but I'm going to give you a life that goes beyond anything that you could possibly imagine. And people just don't see it. They're miserable.
Yes.
And I look at it and I just say, why? Why are you miserable? What's going on? And it's because they have not transformed their mind. Like, their mind has not been renewed. They're so focused on the things of this world that they get in their own way, and that they don't realize that the maker of the universe, the maker of absolutely everything, lives right here and here and here and absolutely everywhere. And he gave that power to us, and he wants us to use it. We're just too dumb to do it.
That is so cool. I mean, such a direct way to look at
Yeah,
it, but you're
yeah.
exactly right. You talk about your transformation.
Yeah.
So going out on a limb, and I know we've had a couple conversations, but I'm going to guess, because you speak of transformation, that you have not always had this close of a relationship with Christ.
No.
Did you grow up in church? I mean, let's go to the beginning.
Sure,
We'll get to
yeah,
the
let's go to the
ministry
beginning.
and all that, but let's start from the start.
Did I
right?
grow up in church? I did,
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like most Americans do. I feel like it's very, very entrenched in the culture. So I got saved, quote unquote, whenever I was like, I'd say 9 or 10 years old, probably.
Okay.
I remember there was a neighbor lady. I'm from Southwest Missouri. And I remember I was absolutely terrified of tornadoes. And still to this day, they just scare me to death. And I remember there was a tornado watch / warning, because they were all over the place at that time. And I remember she was talking to me about God all the time. And I remember getting saved because there was a tornado warning, and I was scared because everything that I had heard in church was that be good, because if you don't, you're going to be set on fire forever,
Wow.
And so...
Little fire and brimstone.
Yeah, I say that I got saved out of fear, right? And so that's whenever I was really, really little. And then, I kind of went off and on barely. My parents weren't going at the time. They're diehard Christians now as well, but that's way down the road. So I was out of it for a while, started going back. A church van came to pick me up. And this is in my bio at our church, one church in Westfield. I went to church for tacos, because on Wednesday night all I heard was tacos, and I was like,
Nice.
hey, dude, I'm in, for sure. Anybody that knows me knows that I can eat some tacos. And so I went there, so I got back into it for a while, got passionate, and I got very, very passionate about it, but that's my personality, which is also why I was so passionate about drinking myself to death. Like, when I do something, I do it stupid.
You're all in.
Yes.
All
yeah.
in.
And an unreal superstar status rate. It's insane. And so, anyways, long story short, I fell away for a very, very long time. Even did some pastoring back in the day, about 20 years ago, in the Baptist denomination. Still fell away. And I was running from God like the entire time. Moved to Indianapolis about 13 years ago. And I'd say that's probably right around the time I left my family. I left my son. He'll be on my podcast at some point talking about that and how it affected him. And by the grace of God, he's an amazing man. I was fully expecting to screw him up. Like, I was not expecting him to end up well. Because of me.
You made.
Because of me. And it actually went the other way. He's an amazing person because of me being an idiot. And so, yeah, that's a different hour.
Yeah.
And so,
We'll cover that in another
yeah, exactly. So I was drinking way too heavily at those times, but I hadn't overtaken my life to the point to where, it's fun till it's not fun anymore. It was still fun, just being stupid. But I was lonely whenever I came here. I lived a long way from where my office was. I had some relationship issues, with a woman whenever I moved here. And so I was just lonely, very, very lonely. So it got to the point to where I'm driving to work at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Next thing I know, I'm drinking in the morning. And I'm drinking after work, and I'm drinking all of the time, just 24/7. And it just got worse and worse and worse. 10 years later, finally on May 5th, 2023, after my last insane bender that I had, that's probably another hour. Anyway, something finally clicked in me. Something finally clicked in me after when I was running from God. I was like, I have tried absolutely everything under the sun. I pulled a Solomon. I tried everything, and it didn't work. And I finally realized that God is the only way that I'm going to be able to live a life that's worth absolutely anything to anybody, including myself. And so it was on that day. Checked myself into outpatient rehab. Wasn't in there very, very long. Didn't have to hang out in like AA very long or anything. And I'm proud to say that, here we are 440 some days later, and I have not even had a craving. Like, God took it away from me, period.
Wow.
And I buried myself in everything, Bible study. I've got a Tuesday night thing, a Thursday night thing, a Saturday morning thing, a Wednesday morning thing. We'll get into it more, but reminder on my phone every hour on the hour, talk to God is what it says. And
Really?
Yes, and I can't do it all
You
the
set
time.
a reminder.
Yes, and so I
That's
swipe it
I
away
haven't
most
done
of the
that.
time, but
Right.
it got me in the habit of just even saying thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, and it just, that habit gets built into you. And when you do that, when you're communing with God, and when you wake up and you're like, what do you want me to do today? What do you want me to do today? And you do that over the course of hundreds of days, it becomes your life. And then you start realizing that abundant life that I was talking about. That's how you do it.
That's so funny you said that. A couple thoughts, but so you're still an addict.
I always will be. Oh, yeah. I see where you're going.
So
Yes.
it's amazing to me. So as you know, and we've talked, I do prison ministry.
Yeah.
And there's so many guys in prison that they suffer with addiction, alcoholism,
Sure.
drugs, but porn. I mean, fill in the blank. They suffer with addiction.
Yeah.
And I know one of the moments I kind of had an epiphany when I was going through. Every time I tried to stop being an addict, it wasn't me. It was like trying to not be myself.
Right.
I was trying to be someone else so it wouldn't last. And what I realized is I didn't need to stop being me. I will always be an addict. That's just the way I'm wired.
That's right.
I just had to get addicted to better things.
Yeah.
So when I hear you say something like, I'm at church all the time and I do this and I do that and all that, I'm like, yeah. Because we're still wired that way.
Dude, that is so true. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear that. So yeah. So it's not just me.
Yeah. No, we were talking before. I even told my wife, I was like, you're going to hate sober, Brian.
Yeah.
And she's like, why? I was like, I'm still going to be addicted to something, and it's still going to drive you nuts. It's just not going to be destructive to me or my family.
So you said your wife.
Yeah.
But you said you left your family before. So
Yeah.
this is a remarriage?
Yes.
situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. This
So-
is my second go around, and my last go around.
So you said before you left, you was already drinking. So like,
Oh, yeah.
she was there from the beginning of this
Yeah.
spiral. Or,
She was, yeah, because
or
whenever
it wasn't that bad then.
It
or
wasn't.
what?
It
Okay.
wasn't. I mean, I was drinking more than a normal person should. Going out 2, 3, 4 nights a week. Had a circle of friends. That we'd get together and we would drink. That's what we had in common. Good people. I'm not saying anything bad about them at all. I mean, great friends. But that's all we did.
Yeah.
And and we had a good time. Everything. We'd end up going to bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like all the time, getting up and going to work, and just still staying in there. And
So she drank with you.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
fighting it. Or
she wasn't on my level.
Right.
But
Amateur.
yeah, rookie. But
Yeah.
but no, like she would, she stood up, she stayed up. We went to the same parties, we hung out on the same houseboats. We went and did all of the same things all the time. Yeah,
You guys enabled each other
we did.
at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, most definitely.
So what? I mean, I know you said May 5th, 2023, and that's awesome that you know that date or whatever. But
Oh yeah.
like before that date, like if you guys were doing this together and you're having a good time and all that, what was that turning point? Like before May, what?
Yeah. Well, a couple years it wasn't a good time. A couple years before that,
Okay.
I'd say a couple years leading up to it, it was just stupid. It got to the point to where it's really all that I was doing. That's all that I wanted to do. Got obsessed with it. I would get verbally abusive. I would get angry. I would just it was making me miserable, and I don't know what I was chasing. We talk about it in our Bible studies all the time. Like, well, you were filling a hole that wasn't there. Something was missing, and I was like, well, yeah, but I don't know what that something is. Like, maybe it was guilt from leaving Missouri and coming here. Maybe it was, I have no idea. I really don't know what that was, but it just got out of control to where she was trying to get me to quit. And you're an addict, you know this, so I started lying about it. I became a ninja about hiding it. I'd move money around. I would, and she got to the point to where she's checking the bank account. She's like, where'd this $4.38 come from? What was that? And, to have to lie about it or move stuff around. And, I'd have to hide things in certain places. And I would say that I was done, but then I wasn't. I would get sick for like 5 days at a time to where I could barely even move. And then as soon as I got better again, I just started drinking again. And then finally one day I got so sick, I went to urgent care. And normal blood sugar is 80 to 120. Mine was at 695. So you see the sensor right here. I have type 1 diabetes for the rest of my life. I don't have a pancreas anymore.
From drinking.
Yeah, so I got this insulin pen right here. Yeah, I drank myself into it. So I meet people, and they're like, you have type 1 diabetes? Like, how's that possible? Did you weigh 500 pounds last year?
You don't look it.
No.
I mean,
right, not at all. And you either get that when you're born, you get it when you're a young teenager. And whenever I meet somebody for the first time, they're like, "Well, how'd you get that?" I don't want to say, "Well, I drank myself into it."
Yeah.
That sets a stereotype right quick, doesn't it? And so, I'm comfortable sharing that with people that I know and that I get close to, and with people at my church. But yeah, man, I drank myself into this stupid thing. So that changed me for a month. I got out and I was like, well, maybe one little shot won't hurt anything. Monitor the blood sugar, things are good. And then that got stupid until finally at the point to where my last little bender blowout early May was I took my wife's car. I don't remember any of this. I drove basically to St. Louis and back. Was all over town. Don't know why, because I looked at my history on my Google Maps. It can show you where you've been.
Okay.
And it shows all of these things, and all that I know is that I woke up in my neighborhood at the end of a cul-de-sac in the back of that Jeep that morning and had no idea what I did the day before. Like, at all. Drove hundreds of miles. Don't remember a minute.
Hundreds of miles.
Yeah, so that was the okay. And I've done very, very stupid things before that. Insanely stupid things. But that finally, to that point, I was just like, because all those times before you're like, well, I got this. I can do this. Just like you said, as an addict, well, I can stop. I just have to stop doing this. I have to stop being Brian. I have to stop. You can't.
Yeah, no.
You can't do it. And that's when I finally realized that God is the one and only thing that will work, because I've tried everything else. I was in and out of AA 100 times and took it seriously when I was there. I was like, hey, this could work. And felt like it was going to work. And then 3 weeks later, I'm like, that's the dumbest meeting I've ever been to in my life. That didn't make any sense. Like, they just don't understand me, which they actually do. That is one good thing about those rooms is there's a lot of guys that can say me too on a lot of those stories. But I feel like I'm rambling on you, Cliff. But
no.
Yeah,
this is great, because I think so many people. I think there are a ton of people that's felt exactly like what you're talking about.
There are,
and not admitting it.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, I thought I was fooling myself every day because I was still functioning.
Yeah.
Like, were you still working?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm still working.
Yeah.
But it escalates out of nowhere.
It does.
Like, if you have a bad day at work, I'd come home and I'd look at my wife and go, I had a bad day. I'm gonna fix a drink.
Yeah.
You have a great day.
Had a good day. Let's celebrate.
A great day. Let's go have a drink.
Right.
You know what? Yeah, today was kind of boring. Want to have a drink?
Yeah.
And and that just continues
Always a
to
reason.
go. And then I found myself, waking up. I don't mean literally waking up, but waking up, realizing how much I was consuming.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous amounts. And I know you understand that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You said you were still working.
Yeah.
You were still you were married.
Yeah.
Family, like kids involved, and things. So they're seeing this.
Yeah, they're seeing some of it. Yes, and so teenagers, as teens will do, sometimes they're in their room, sometimes they're out. But the fights got so loud that there's no way that they didn't hear it. They could see that my wife was absolutely miserable. She was at the end of her rope. Probably should have left me 100 times. But she's on a different level from a godly sense as well. She's one of the most loyal and faithful people that I feel like God's ever made, quite honestly, because out of 1,000 girls, I feel like 998 of them would have flipped me the bird and said, all right, dude, see ya. But she also knew, she told herself, she's like, on one hand, I gotta get out of here. I deserve better than this, but I know if I leave, he'll be dead in 2 weeks. Because even...
She was loving you through it.
She was loving me through it, yeah. And so, to the point to where, like, I was just drinking so much, even when I was hiding it and sneaking it and still drinking the amount that I was... If I had no accountability, if I had nobody to be afraid of, like, what if she catches me doing this? And, I probably I would absolutely be dead. I know it for a fact. Because I almost did anyway. So many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no idea how long that this was a thing, my type 1. Because I would just get to the point where I was so sick where I couldn't eat anything, drink anything. Weeks would go by where I had no water. I would eat maybe 2 or 3 meals over the course of 3 weeks. Just wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. Slept maybe 30 minutes a night for weeks at a time. It's just I got super duper duper sick, and looking back, I think that it was a huge portion of it was this diabetic stuff. And so God had his hand on me a million times.
So let me ask you this. She stayed through, you're going through all this, you're hiding all that. During this time, were you still going to church?
Well, okay, so we had just started going, I want to say... probably about a year, probably 6 months before my diabetes in January of 2023. And so we have some really, really good friends Josh and Michelle Parlos. I can shout them out on here.
Okay.
They've been our neighbors for
Hey, guys.
they've been our friends for like 10 years, but we never really hung out. We just kind of knew of them, right? But we could feel that they always had a heart for us. You know, they'd invite us to church every once in a while. They invited us out to a church in Fishers for a while, and so we went to that with them for a little while. And it was in January that I was diagnosed with the type 1. I remember one Sunday we went to church. I was at a point where like I would just cry all the time. I knew I needed to change something. I just didn't know what it was. So just bawling, I went to church and I could barely even walk. I mean, I was so sick. That was right before I checked myself into urgent care, and the blood sugar thing was just, they took my blood sugar, then put me in an ambulance, like right then.
Really?
Yes. And that was Monday. On that Sunday before, we went to that church with them, and so we were starting to really get back into it, and I was starting to bury myself into the very beginning stages of like, I know that God has to get me out of this.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else is going to work. And so we did that. Now we go to one church, which super duper proud of, doing amazing things at that church. It's so great. And we're going to be there for a long time. Very, very involved there. I love that place and those people. Some of my best friends there. So we started going there because they started going there. We could tell that they weren't going to the church in Fishers for a while. A couple of weeks had went by. And he invited me to a Bible study on Tuesday night called Authentic Manhood at our church. And I was at that point to where I was like, yeah, I'll go to anything. Like, count me in, man. And I went, and we have not stopped going since. So was church a part of our life in the 10 years that I've known her? Not really. It's kind of like I was telling you, before we started this, was we believed in God. We both had kind of a quote-unquote religious upbringing. I knew that he was there. I knew that he was chasing me. I could feel it all the time. We just didn't care.
Yeah.
It wasn't important to us. It wasn't a huge part of our life. And now, complete 180, complete transformation, complete renewal. Her and I have never been closer. We want to share this story with everybody. I never thought that I could love somebody as much as I love her, and vice versa. And we're doing some amazing things for ministries, and we just want to serve God until the day we die, man. That's where we're at.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. God put her in your life for a reason, didn't he?
Yes, there's no doubt. No doubt.
And it's funny because you say you were together for what, 7 years before your life changed.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
His timing doesn't always align with ours, does it?
No, it doesn't at all. And then you kind of wonder, like, why did I have to go through all that? Especially her. She went through just some crazy, crazy stuff and stuck around, some traumatic stuff, man. Like stuff that nobody should have to see. And yeah, I mean, you're thankful for it now because it makes you such a strong person. And that's one thing I love about the Bible. And I tell my friends all the time. I say this every time I get with them. The bigger your screw ups, the more God can use them.
Yeah.
Like, if you go through the Bible, the heroes of the Bible, they were disasters.
All of them.
Yeah, those dudes were messed up. The
So
12
many
disciples were punks, man. They
Yeah.
were, they were. He picked them on purpose, right? Yeah, because he takes the low and sets them up high. That's just, the kingdom's backwards.
Well, it shows that he can use anyone.
Anyone.
And I think that needs to be, we need to understand that.
Yeah.
Like everyone needs to understand.
Right, I think that's the bent Christian
It's-
mission. That's the
yeah.
Conformed to Transform mission. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are. You feel like a loser, so what? He doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's funny you say that because when we first met at a business breakfast,
Yeah.
talking about ministry in the marketplace and things,
Yeah.
and I heard your mission, and I want to get into some of that. So we've identified that you were absolutely broken,
Yeah, a little bit.
and
Just a little bit.
and God was still there.
Yeah, always.
And the God of the hills and the valleys,
yeah,
right?
yeah, deep valleys.
You mentioned a couple other like life groups and small groups and things that you're
Yeah.
involved in and
Yeah.
getting involved and things like that. At what point did you say, like, I'm done? I know it was May 5th
Yep.
after that one thing.
Yep.
At what point did you say, I'm not only done with this, but I'm giving my life to Christ?
Yeah.
Like, what was it instantaneous, or did you know?
It was a Paul moment. It was May 5th. It was that day. And my wife was with me. She went with me whenever I checked myself out of outpatient. And I told her, I was like, I know you can't believe me, but this is it. Like, I'm done. I'm giving everything over to God. I'm sold out for him. I'm completely done with this. I can't go on like this anymore. And she, of course, she was like, yeah.
Right.
And
Heard
her
this
family and our family, yeah.
Heard this
Yeah, they've
before.
heard it a million times, right? And so why should she believe me at all? But I knew that I knew that I knew, because I'd said that I was done many other times. And you're kind of done. You're done to the point to where it gets you out of trouble for a little bit and then you go do it again, right?
Yeah.
I would say that day was the day. I mean, I literally had like the walking down the street, and God's like, "Why are you persecuting me?" Like similar to Paul, and he changed just like that. And I think that's why he writes about that transformation in Romans, is just because that's what you have to do, because this world will beat you down. There are way too many shiny things and squirrels and distractions, and you have to be laser focused on it. And once you are, man, it's like, it sounds like a lot of work to do it, but you really just instill some fairly simple habits for a short amount of time, and you're there. I mean, you just start. It doesn't mean that life is peachy and nothing bad's going to happen,
Right.
but you know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can handle it.
Some simple habits.
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Sure. So setting this timer was probably the most important thing that I ever did.
Talk to God.
Yeah.
Talk to God time.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy. Yeah, like here in 45 minutes, it's going to go off. My watch is going to buzz. I'm going to look
Talk
down.
to God timer.
Yeah.
Trademark Brian Crouch.
We'll see. No, but seriously, so I did that, and it sounds funny because a lot of the times we get busy, you'll look at it and you'll be like, well, swipe away. Sure. You won't really even think about it, but it still comes into your head. You see it for a split second, and a good, 60-70% of the time, you are going to stop and be like, hey, thank you for this car that I have. Hey, thank you that I have a wife that loves me and I don't know why. Thank you that I have a job. Thank you that my kids are healthy, that my kids can walk, that. And over time, you start building up that gratitude. And the gratitude's another podcast session that I feel like you and I can do, because we could talk about that for hours. It'll change your life. And so just habits like that was the biggest one. You got to bury yourself in the Word. So to all you out there that watch 6 or 7 hours of Netflix every single night, take 15 minutes and read your Bible. Then watch Netflix the rest of the time.
It makes a difference.
It makes a humongous difference, because then it gets buried in your brain. It says hide your word, or hide his word in your heart so that you may not sin against it. It says that for a reason.
Yeah.
And the more that you read it, and the more that it pumps in, and it's living, it's breathing, it speaks to you every single time in different ways. So I'd say those are the two biggest habits right there. And gratitude.
Well, and that attitude of gratitude, I mean, it's hard to be angry and be grateful at the same time.
You can't.
It's hard to be depressed and be grateful at the same time. You know? I read a book one time called Soundtracks, and it talks about what we play in our minds over and over again. And it was amazing to me. It's such a simple concept, but what we tell ourselves is so powerful.
Self-talk is super important.
What we focus on. Have you ever heard the experiment that we can do it now? Like, take 10 seconds and look around the room for everything that's black.
Oh, yeah.
And then they look around the room and they count, and then it goes, now, how many red things did you see?
Right, yeah. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
It's so simple, but it's what are we focused on, right?
Right.
Do we want to focus on the negativity? Do we want to focus on the positive
Yes.
stuff? And those habits, like you were talking about, the soundtracks that we play, being grateful, making sure that we're spending time with God or talking to Him. It's so easy to say, well, the Bible tells us all this.
Yeah.
But man, you gotta receive it.
You do. You got to take some action.
The Bible doesn't say if we fast; it says when we fast, or
Agree with
if
that.
we pray,
So true.
when we pray. You know, all these things. Okay, fine. I know what it says.
Yeah.
I know people that don't believe in God at all that know the Bible inside and out.
That's
they
right.
can quote it better than I can.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not just the word; it's what you receive, and that's where you start changing from that inside.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, I don't want it to sound terrible. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it.
You do.
Right? You got to force yourself.
You do. Oh yeah, there's days where like you thank God and you're like, I don't know why I'm thanking Him right now. It's and you do. You kind of got to push yourself through it. But we've all had days like that. I feel like Jesus had days like that.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
he was tempted. He was
That's right.
He went through everything that we've gone through.
Right.
And I mean, the way he handled it is probably a little different.
Yeah, a little better.
You and I have. So.
I mean, even he went away to get rest. It says in the Bible so many times that he went by himself to pray. Like he got away from everything and just sat there with God in his prayer closet or whatever. Or he did that hourly, like, hey, I got to talk to this guy for a minute because everything else around me is pretty stupid right now. Like, I've got to settle down a little bit.
Man, I love this. We could talk for hours about this. We could talk for hours about it. But I want to get to the ministry. So at what point, like you said on May 5th, you were to talk to her, you told your wife, this is it.
Yeah.
This is, I'm changing, I'm giving my life to Christ. Got out of rehab.
Yeah.
Started doing everything at church, getting involved, getting connected, doing all these things. did you start leading some groups at that point, or just being involved?
Yeah. So it dove in pretty quick. So that Tuesday night at Authentic Manhood, we have several different leaders for that because we end up with 5 or 6 different groups. So we watch this video together, then you split up into 5 or 6 small groups,
Okay, yeah.
and then we all get back together at the end, like, hey, what did you learn? Who wants to share something? And so like I wanted to jump into leadership immediately, and I've always had that mindset. I feel like I've always been somewhat of a leader, and I want to be that, and I feel like I was born to do that. Quite honestly, I feel like God wired me that way.
Spiritual gifts, man.
Yeah, exactly. There's some things that I am not good at that I wish that I was, and I'm just not, and I never will be.
Sure.
So I'm going to take advantage of the things that I am. And so, I jumped into that. And the most powerful thing we'll jump into when we get into my ministry is that I've been around so many guys whenever I'm talking about real life stuff, they're like, hey, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And that was the most powerful thing about our Tuesday night deals. Guys are afraid to talk about what they're going through in life because we're guys. We're supposed to be tough. Rub some dirt on it, Peyton Manning style for all you Indiana people. And nobody's vulnerable. Nobody wants to open up. And what happens is every single time that a person would open up, somebody else in the room is like, hey, really? You've been through that too?
Yeah.
And that's what I want this to be in a nutshell. And we'll jump into it.
Well, let's do it. Let's jump into it. At
Okay.
what point did you say, I love the ministries I'm involved in, but I think there's something missing here, or is that how you felt? You felt
Yeah.
like there's something more, like share that transformation.
Sure.
Share that.
Yeah. So it kind of stemmed from, hey, I went through so much crazy stuff that I should have been dead so many times. Mm-hmm. So it all came down to, I'm here for a reason. God's got me here for something. And so then I sort of bury myself in the Word, and I'm like, I want to know more of His will for me. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? And just the more that He spoke to me, and I was in these Tuesday night groups and these prayer meetings and all of that other stuff, is I found out that guys are, people in general, not just guys, let's open this up. People are embarrassed to talk about where they stumble. You go to church and you see all these people, everybody acts like they have their life together, right? Like everything is awesome. Everybody's got their smiles on. Everybody's wearing their best clothes.
Fought all the way to church.
Yes,
and then they
exactly.
get out in the parking lot
It's like going on a first
smiles
date, right? Like you go on a first date, that's the best you're probably ever going to see that person, right? And so like they're giving you an impression. But everybody's screwed up. Like everybody is. Like the more you talk to them, everybody's got big problems. Everybody has things that they don't want to deal with. And so the purpose of my ministry is for me to talk about what I went through unashamed, not embarrassed, not caring what other people think about me,
right,
but realizing how powerful that He is for saving my life and for using me. And I don't want people to be afraid. I want people to be unashamed, to come forward and be like, hey, I'm screwed up. And how do I get fixed? And I'm like, there's an answer. There's an answer, and here it is. And I want to help people with setting up these life habits and doing that.
So good.
Yeah, because you can get fired up and let's say you go to a revival. Yeah, you're fired up and things are cool. 2 weeks later, you're done. Like it kind of wanes.
Yeah, what happens?
It wanes. It goes away, right? Because you're not in that environment. But I want to help people set up lifelong habits that stick. Things that when they do that first week, they're doing it a year later. And when you do that, you live a lifelong. I want people to live out God's purpose for their lives, and you do that by seeking Him constantly, and you just say every day, well, what do you want to do with me today? What do you want to do with me today? And you do it tomorrow. What do you want to do with me today? And you do that long enough over time, guess what? You're doing what He wants you to do, which, by the way, is the best life that you could possibly live.
Yeah.
So, funny how that works.
So the ministry is Conformed to Transformed.
Yes.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, because I love that verse, first of all, and it's just always stuck with me. If you go to the website and if you go to one church, you'll see that my sermon title, the one time that I have preached there, and there'll be more, was Transformed. And it just spoke to me so much is that I was conformed to this world, and everybody is. We're all robots. We do stuff because other people do stuff. Yeah. It's like, hey, that guy bought a house, I should probably go buy a house. Like, oh, that guy got a new car, well, I probably should too. That guy's got 2.5 kids and a beautiful wife, I should probably do that too. We're all doing the same thing. We're to the point, dude, we all have the same watch now. Everybody is the same. Everybody's robots. And you can get through life that way, living in America in this culture with this economy. You can be just good enough and live a good life. But nobody really goes above and beyond and steps out. Everybody is conformed. And Jesus calls us to be set apart. Like if we're in a crowd of people, people are supposed to be able to look at me and be like, hey, there's something different about that dude. Yeah. What is it? Instead of just blending in all of the time. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be weirdos. And we should wear that with a badge of honor. We shouldn't feel like a weirdo. We should feel like a winner.
Because we create us
Yeah,
differently.
exactly. And so I wanted to go from conformed to ridiculously transformed, because the more ridiculously that story is, the bigger the impact that it has for the kingdom. And even if I just reach one, you and I have talked about this, and that's our church motto. That's why it's called One.
Yeah,
We're trying to reach the one, right?
That's so good.
If I reach one person with this, if one person changes their life for the positive and I die, I feel like I did a great job. But this is going to reach hundreds of thousands of people, I feel like, maybe millions, just because I want to help empower people, not because of me, but because of God, because of the transforming power of Jesus. I just want to be the tool of the guy that comes out and they're like, hey man, if that weirdo can stand up and tell his story, why can't I?
Yeah.
Why can't I? Right? And so
those milliseconds of courage, right?
Yeah, that's right.
To break those
yeah,
chains.
it's just like an industry. I mean, some guy out there is the best IT guy in the world, right?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Yeah.
Like what's he got that I don't? We're all on an even playing field. It's just a matter of like, what do you do with what God gave you? Some people are cool with just taking it easy and conforming to everything and skating through life and checking the church box off and putting the fish on the car and things like that. But like, I want to be different, man. Like, I want people to look at me and be like, that guy loves Jesus. His story is insane. And if he can turn his life around, so can I.
I love that. I love that so much.
That's the whole point of the ministry.
There's another podcast coming up that it's about one of the one of my prison.
Yeah, I started
sessions.
watching one of yours and it opened up with, hey guys, I went back to prison. I was like, where's this going? Anyway, sorry.
It's funny, but there was a guy in there that didn't speak for like 3 days on one of these weekends that I'm serving in these prisons. He didn't speak for 3 days, and at the end he went up front, and nobody thought he would say anything, and he volunteered to go up front and say what the weekend meant. And he looked across the room and he looked at me and he goes, I don't know how much of this I believe or have taken in yet. He said, but whatever that guy has, I want some.
Come on.
And he walked over and he gave me a hug, and the guy was like huge and all this, and I'm like bawling in prison again. But that's amazing. So I get what you're saying. We want, like, are my words and actions glorifying God?
Come on. Yeah.
And man, we got to keep ourselves in check in that. And
we do.
So important. So I assume, like, and I know we've talked about this isn't just for men.
No,
but I think men do struggle with that vulnerability piece, that being so raw.
They don't open up as much as women do. Yeah.
So, like, conform to transform, you and I both talked about accountability.
Yeah.
And authentic relationships.
Yes.
Is that a component of the ministry? Is there a...
Yeah, I want that to be huge. Yeah, and so one of the reasons I talk about the men's side of it so much is because I started with that authentic manhood. My Friday morning prayer meetings that that I was going to quite regularly. I got back pretty busy with work. I'd like to get back into that more. Is a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
My Thursday night, my circle is a bunch of guys, because if you start getting females in there that have gone through addiction things, then you got to bring other females. There's some accountability there. Yeah. You don't want guys and girls alone in that situation.
No.
So I've been surrounded by other guys, and I have found girls are a lot easier about opening up about things, and some aren't. But by and large, guys have this, especially in this American culture. Be tough. Like, if you talk about how broken you are, you're a wuss. Like, you're a loser. Like, man, look at that weenie. He can't even get through life. Like, man up. And no. I am broken. I am screwed up. I am a loser. And because of him, I am not. I have a huge winner. And now I am just hell-bent on winning at every... Yeah. Did you like that? Yes. I am bent on winning at everything that I do. Like, everything. I told you, so I got into the habit of, like, I get up at 4 a.m. and go work out.
Yeah.
Every other day I lift. Every other day I go walk 5 to 6 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
And in those 5 to 6 miles, I'm talking to God. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, just talking to him in prayer. People think when you pray, it's all the thee, thou on your knees. Just talk to him, man. Like, that's what he wants. And I'll seriously be walking around my neyborhood. If anybody was next to me, they'd think I was nuts.
Sure.
But I'm talking to him like he's standing right next to me.
Yeah,
and that was so crucial at the beginning of my recovery. It was like that was just so crucial. So I feel so close to God. It's not even funny. Like,
but it's a reminder that you're not alone.
Right, you're not alone.
You have
ever.
someone to talk to that wants you to talk to them.
Right.
He knows what's your heart, your mind. I've had people go, well, I went through this and I was mad at God. Would you tell him?
He's still there. Yeah.
Did you yell at him?
Yeah, did you tell him?
I've
Cuss
had
him out,
people
man.
say, I've had guys who would tell me, man, I just cussed God. And I go, you know what?
Okay.
He was still listening.
Yeah, he was.
Because a true friend or a true father or a true whatever.
Yes.
The people you're closest to
Yeah.
are the ones that can hurt you the most.
That's so true.
And they can also be the ones that
To lift you up the most.
And if we believe that he's the God of the hills and valleys,
Yeah.
he's walking with us.
Yeah, that's right.
I love even that. You remember the footprints?
The footprints in the sand. There's only one set. Yeah, that's carrying you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
I just love that. So how does the I don't want to get derailed. So how does the ministry look? You know, conform to transform. It starts with a commitment.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah.
And then. So and then you said there's daily habits or
Right.
routines and things like that.
Yeah.
Like this is all displayed in meetings or online, or if there's a sign up thing, or how
Yeah,
does it,
sure.
how does it look?
So just getting started here, really, I think the beginning part, and you know, I pray about this all the time. What do I do here? But it's really getting that content out there. The website,
yeah.
conformedtotransform.com, and the Facebook page and the Instagram and all that. I want to get as much of my story in front of as many eyeballs as I can, because I know one of these guys, one of these people, anybody, and you know, including women, they can talk to my wife like, "Hey, my husband's an addict. I'm thinking about." Like, I am struggling. How in the world did you stay with this guy through this, and what did you do to help him?
Yeah.
Like, she's got a perspective that I can't. So I want somebody to look at that and be like, I know that I can turn my life around. He has done it. He's hanging out with a bunch of other guys that have done it. How do I do it? And they'll get direct messages or whatever. And at our church, we have these Tuesday night things, Authentic Manhood, more than welcome to come. And it's helped transform my life. And so the whole goal is to get people, one, to speak up, to admit that they're broken. Mm-hmm. They want to change. They want to set up these habits, and they want to win at everything that they do in work, in life. We're going through a Robert Lewis series right now called Winning at Work and Home, before we go into Wild at Heart here soon. But the whole premise of it is, how do you win at work and how do you win at home as a man in this society where, you know, where it's not cool to be broken, it's not cool to be vulnerable. And so really, I'm just trying to turn people that don't think that they can turn around. And so all of the meetups and things like that haven't even happened yet.
Yeah.
Because the following's not big enough yet, but it will be. And when it does, we'll all get together and we'll share life experiences, whether it's online, whether we set up chapters, whether whatever that is. More than anything, I just want to see broken dudes come to Jesus, man. Like, that is the goal. And whatever stems from that, stems from that. Yeah. And I want to get to a point to where this gets big enough to where I can go speak at different places, at like large arenas, at like just a bunch of people. Do you remember Promise Keepers?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so, you know, similar to that, just something where a big, huge group of gathering of men that feel broken, that feel like that they're not good husbands, that they're not good enough at their job, that they're not good enough at this, and they're all beaten down because one of the devil's biggest tools is to make you feel like an absolute loser. Yeah. He wants you beaten down, feel defeated, isolated. Yeah. And us as Christians, with the Holy Spirit living in us, we don't realize the power that we have in us. Like, Jesus wants us to win and to win big. And the devil wants to keep us down. And so that's the awareness that I'm trying to get out. Is like, let's go win. You know, let's take back this world. Stop being robots. Stop waking up every morning feeling like a loser.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Feel like a winner.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, often in life when things are good, we want to give ourselves credit.
For sure.
When things are bad, we want to, blame someone. Often we'll blame God.
Oh, yeah.
Why did this happen?
Yeah.
And the fact is, bad things happen to good people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The reverse of that is, there are good things that happen to bad people.
Right.
Right,
yes,
all the time.
Indeed.
But the fact is, a whole lot of this we do to ourselves.
I'd say most of it.
And when you start thinking about things like the devil being involved and making him have feelings of isolation and all that, we don't give him enough credit for the things he does influence with that way. I mean,
it's insane.
The spiritual warfare is a very real thing. The battle has already been won.
Yeah, that's right.
But we have to remember that in our minds, right?
I feel like the spiritual warfare is more real and more prevalent than real life is, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I feel like there's so many things happening around us that we just cannot see that is just insanely overwhelming. And if we could see it with our eyeballs, we'd probably freak out a little bit.
Yeah, it's
real.
Scary to think about that.
It's real.
You were talking about like the families that come to church and pretend like everything is okay.
Yeah.
And that falseness of that fakeness of that.
Yeah.
But look at like social media.
Yes, I was getting ready to bring that up, and you just did. Yes.
I mean,
wonderful one of Satan's best inventions ever.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, because people just scroll for hours looking at people being like, why can't I be more like that person?
Yeah.
Comparison is just absolutely rampant because they got 37 likes and I got 14 likes, so I must suck. Like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Like,
I tell you, and we have to be careful, even if the intentions are good.
Yeah.
Like the what's the old the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah,
right?
yes, and that's a true
So
story.
I remember when I started Bent Christian, and immediately, counting my followers on TikTok and subscribers on
We
YouTube,
talked about that.
and likes and connections and subscribers and all this stuff, and I would get. I mean, I'm one of the most jovial people. I wake up in a good mood.
Yeah,
I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I wake up plans.
Yeah.
My wife wants to kill me, but
Mine too.
I do.
But
Let's
then
go
I
do
go
something.
and I go and go and go, and then I crash at night because
Yeah.
I run that hard, and then I wake up and do the same thing.
Do it again.
But even I found myself getting frustrated. Why didn't this video get as many views? Or
Absolutely.
This and all that? Why did why did this get hundreds of likes? This got 1,000. This got 7.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
did I have 1 subscriber here and all that? And I prayed about it. I mean, it just started to affect me, and it was crazy. I'm like, God, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he slowed me down like he always does. And he says, I didn't ask you to do this for the masses. I asked you to do it for the one.
Yeah.
And I love
That's
what
so
you
good,
said
man.
earlier
Yeah.
that said, if I reach one person, because that's what he does. He
Yeah.
uses people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Things or people, places, or things for a reason, season, or lifetime, and that's what we're called to do.
That is what we're called
and
to do.
make disciples.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other great command was love God and
Yeah.
love each other.
Right. That's what Christianity is all about. Like, love other people.
We have complicated
Period.
it so much.
We have. I mean, he explained it to 3-year-olds on purpose. Like, the Bible makes it very, very clear to say, hey, these 3-year-olds understand it.
Yeah.
You adults are the ones that are screwing this up.
And you look at, I read something the other day. Barna released a thing that said, in the last 23 years,
Mm-hmm.
40 million Americans have turned away from church.
Yeah, our pastor Andy, he was showing some stats about some really staggering stats of just how sharp of a drop off that it has been.
Now, that's not considering all the people that are new
Right.
Christians, things like
Right,
that.
right,
It's
right.
not all doom and gloom, and there's some replacement stuff
Yeah.
in there. But regardless, I
Right.
mean, it should just be building,
Right.
and not that
Whatever
big
that
of
real
a
number is, it's
drop
going the
off.
wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of it is because I think we've complicated this so much.
We have.
It is so much about the religion, and people forget about the relationship.
That's right. Yeah, so true.
And if we just if we focus on those two things, love God and love each other.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of the labels, get rid of the legalism, get rid of the judgment, get rid of the, I've got another podcast that's going to get released about tattoos.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah.
And I love it. It's one of my favorite ones that's getting ready to come out. But
Can't wait, man.
so
That'll be good.
I'm so excited to hear what you're saying and how you're building this, because I've viewers and stuff all over. I mean, in case anyone can't tell, the Colts references and Fishers and all that.
Yeah.
We're filming in Indiana.
Right. Yes.
But if someone is interested in this and they go online,
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways to get connected to this
That's right.
now, even remotely, right?
That's right.
For some reason, I'm getting a larger following in the UK.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yay.
Cool.
Yay, brothers across the pond.
I have lots of friends from England actually go to church with us.
Okay.
Shout out Steve and Deb.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, what does the future look like? I mean, you're just building this content right
Yeah.
now. But you mentioned something about chapters or groups or something, and I really like that approach.
Yeah.
So I'm part of Kairos International. It's a program, and it's done all over the world, and there's a similar format.
Yeah.
That content is shared, right? So it has the same look and feel, regardless of where you are. Programs like Divorce Care and Grief Share and some of those other ministries.
Yeah.
Those are the same. That content is shared all over the place, and then these leaders pick it up.
Yeah.
Is that your vision?
Yeah.
I mean. Okay.
Yeah, really it is. And so right now, I envision it being some Facebook groups and things like that, just a safe place for people to come together. Like, hey, here's a screwed up thing that happened to me today. Just letting you know I'm struggling. I'd like for you boys to pray for me and, and just encourage each other. Just lift them up. And, these articles that I'm going to be releasing weekly, my wife and I are recording something tomorrow. I want them to come out every Saturday. And just these tidbits, these little 5-minute videos of just bringing up specific Bible verses like, hey, you're down. Hey, you're going through this in your life right now. Here's how Jesus overcame it. here's how we did it, and here's how your life is going to be better because of it. And so we're going to take that loser mentality, that I'm defeated, that I'm not good enough feeling, and turn it around to I am good enough because he's good enough.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not,
just
but he is.
yeah,
That's so
indeed,
good.
and just get enough people together to where certain people are following certain or leading certain groups, and then if people want to meet up locally, they can do that. I mean, I hope I have that problem to where there's so many of this in so many different places.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I organize this thing? And we'll cross that bridge, and I'll pray about it, and we'll do it when we get there. But as of right now, I'm just wanting to encourage people that are just feeling defeated in life, and just show you that that you can go from a nothing to an everything because of my Jesus, man. I mean, that's it. It's a real simple message, and it's just I want people to stop being scared, because people are afraid to speak up. People are afraid of, that's one thing, that's one struggle that I have with this circle that I started at my church on Thursday. I was telling you about this addiction circle. It's similar to an AA, similar to a Celebrate Recovery, but it's just a small group of people coming together. If people were honest and real and raw, my group of 5, I feel, will be a group of 50. If people were just unashamed to come forward and be like, hey, man, I'm screwed, because they're afraid of what other people are going to think about them. I did a video on that already, and I want to do so many more. It's like, if God's on your side, who should you fear? Like, who cares? Cliff, like, at the end of the day, you're my friend. We're going to do some amazing things together. But really, your opinion of me doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Am I glorifying him?
Right.
Am I
Yeah.
praising him?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're in short time here.
I know. You can hate
Tomorrow's
my
not
guts, and
promised.
guess what? Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, does it really mean anything? I mean, I don't want you to hate my guts,
Well, I can't. kind of
Do you see where I'm
going against what I
Yes.
preach.
Do you see where
If
I'm going
hating
with
you.
that?
Yeah, no,
I feel
do.
like if people were really, if there was a sudden movement all of a sudden to where people were not afraid of what other people thought of them, that'd be dangerous in a good way, right? I'd be so much further in life if I didn't care what people thought about me.
Yeah.
I think everybody would.
And we enable that behavior again. Going back to the social and stuff,
It's comparison.
it's always a comparison. My family and work and everything else.
Yeah.
You take a group picture and everybody wants to approve it first.
You're right.
And I'm like, I don't even care.
Hey, send that to me first,
Do
please.
you
Let me see
remember?
it.
Do you remember when you used to have to wait and you'd go pick up
Yeah.
your film?
2 weeks later, like, oh, I was blinking.
And there was one person out of 11 blinking. Come on, Jane. It's
what were you
always
doing?
you.
Yeah.
And but to me, those
Jane
are
out
the
of the picture.
best. Those are the best memories.
Those are the
I mean,
best
going through
memories.
those old photo albums
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I've gotten to the point where that has gotten so crazy. I don't want to look anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
Dad, what a face you got. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And you're
Still your
proud
dad.
of me. Yeah. So I digress.
No,
But,
man,
yeah.
but that's really, I mean, it's a tangent, but not really, because I'm sure that there's people that I go to church with that may have a drinking problem that won't come up and tell me, because what will that guy think of me if he knows that I drink? Like, he's going to have a completely different view of me. Who cares? That's really good.
You bring up something interesting. Do you think it's easier if I get on a group like Conformed to Transform and talk to someone remotely because I have less potential for that judgment in my church and my local?
Yes, that is easier, and it sucks, but that's true, because absolutely. If there was somebody I was talking to in Taiwan about my problems, that's never getting back to my uncle. That I go to church with or whatever. Yeah, I think there's a lot more comfort when you're talking to somebody, that you make that relationship over the internet or whatever, that it's not people that they see every single Sunday, that they go to breakfast with on Wednesdays or whatever. Hey, will you feel like I'm a loser? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, one, who cares? But you're going to care because it's human nature to care. It's just, that's my next biggest one, because I feel like, and I think I said this in my video that I've already done, I'm like 96, 97% of the way there of not caring what others think. Like, what will my family think? What will coworkers think? What will, people that I've known for years are like, that guy? He's a Jesus freak now? Yeah, I am.
Hey.
And so,
I'm
if you
with
like it, great, come with me. And if not, see you later. I mean,
I'm still going to be praying for you.
Yeah, I'll still be praying for you. And it's, your perception of me does not affect my reality. That's a new quote that I've been spitting to myself all the time.
That's good. What's that again?
Your perception of me does not affect my reality.
Yeah.
And why should it? I mean, it's crazy. But we do it all the time. We do it all the time. Our days go good or bad depending on what somebody else feels about us, and that's just ridiculous.
Truth.
Yeah, we need to be worried about what he thinks about us.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's funny seeing some of the comments on even like videos like this. Like,
Yeah.
like my entire focus is not just about you got to be Christian to take advantage of it. It's people lifting each other up.
Yes.
Believers, non-believers,
Same thing.
or whatever. Can you learn something great or positive from someone that's not a Christian?
100%, yes.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
anyone, you know, if we're missing that,
Yeah.
if we're missing that love, that component, you know, then we're missing the entire.
We're missing the
picture.
mark, yeah.
We're missing the mark. But anyway, it was just making me laugh thinking about, you said what people care about, like videos and comments and even the clips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing how they, you know, I call them keyboard cowboys.
They are,
And, you know,
yeah.
they're terrible, and it's like, why am I so concerned about this video?
Yeah.
Like I don't know who this is. Is it a kid? Like that's not even supposed to be on his phone at night, you know, saying
Yes.
some random thing, or
Yeah.
you know, or somebody that is as broken as I was,
Right.
feeling convicted,
Yeah.
and being angry,
Right. Being
about
very,
that
very
conviction,
mad about
right?
it. Yes.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
No.
If we share that. So the content from your Conform to Transform, it's videos. Are there other components to it
Yes,
that you're
there's going to
building?
be, and this was launched literally like 8 days ago.
Okay.
The
So this is
site
good.
itself,
This
the
is
content.
awesome.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for a while, and it just finally just hit me. I don't know, on one of my morning walks, I was like, I am launching this, and I'm launching it today. And you can ask my wife, like, I barely slept. I didn't hardly ate anything. I was laser focused for 2 straight days, and I just got it all up, built it all. And I was just ready to do it. I just went all out like I usually do whenever I just put my mind to something there. And there's going to be videos. I want to do like 5-minute short videos. I don't want to do hour-long videos. People aren't going to watch hour-long videos for usually, you know.
I hope they do this.
Well, they will. This is a podcast format. This is different. But me just sitting there reading stuff, like doing a Bible study,
Right.
I'm not going to capture that audience that I want to capture doing that.
Yeah.
So long term doing that. Like every Saturday, I will be having hour-long podcast things that I'm doing. But it's also going to be just like 3 or 4 verses, and here's how they affected me. Here's how I think that this affects real life today. And it's a paragraph. And you can just take it with you. So like a mix of like daily devotional style things, also with 5-minute videos of like, hey, I read this verse this morning. Here's what it means to me. This is how it touched me in a special way. And I just talk about that. So it's going to be a mix and match of really just whatever's going through my brain. I want to get it out on video and on paper and on the internet, obviously.
I assume people will reach out and have suggestions and things.
Oh, everybody's
You
got suggestions.
encourage that. No, but you encourage people to say,
Absolutely,
hey,
I do.
Hey,
Yeah.
here's something that worked for me, or
Yes.
here's sharing that type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the answers. He does.
Yeah. So that transformation can come from a lot of people, a lot of different areas, and people sharing.
Yeah.
that. So
Right.
I love that. I love that interaction. I know when we were creating this organization, when I founded it, they were struggling with what it was identified as legally.
Yeah. Well,
And they called it
yeah.
a religious social network, is what.
Yeah, you gotta be careful
the
checking that
trademark
box these
organization-
days.
Yeah, and I'm like, really? That's what they came up with. But it's people a whole lot smarter than me that working on that piece.
Yeah.
So I love your story.
Appreciate it.
I love your willingness to get that out there. I am so excited for this ministry.
Yeah.
How do we get people involved? How can people
Yeah.
connect with you? How
Sure.
can people give you those suggestions and watch your videos
Yeah.
and things like that?
Yeah, and speaking of the suggestions, I think that's really, really important because there's nothing more powerful than thousands of people coming together that are seeking God.
Yeah.
They're like, and here's what worked for me. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, right? And all these things will be added unto you. Yeah. So that group is going to be huge. I'm so glad that you touched on that. That's fantastic. So conformed to transform.com, not the number 2, conformed to transform. Yeah. And on the podcast description, I'm sure below the video, there's going to be, I'll give you some links and stuff that you can put up there. But from the main page of Conformed to Transformed, it's all the social media links at the top. As of right now, we have Facebook page, Instagram. These are all pretty bare at the moment. Yeah, just getting kicked off here. TikTok, I've never posted a TikTok video in my life. My wife is obsessed with it, and she feels like it's important. And so if it's important to her, I guess it's important to me.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and so there's all of those ways to get involved, to get in touch. If you want to be a part of this, there's ways aplenty to absolutely do it. Yeah, and also, I mean, this is your Bent Christian podcast here too, and you and I have talked. I think you and I are going to be doing some things together moving
Excited
forward.
for it.
Yeah,
Excited
it's,
for
as
it.
far as podcast series and things like that. So being involved with you is being involved with me, and vice versa. And I feel like as time goes on, we're going to find even more partners that want to do things like this and jump on board. And yeah, I mean, I'm easy to find.
So you're exactly right. Just so everyone knows, we will have links in the description to the website, and the website will lead to all the other social media outlets and things like that. You can also comment. We're very responsive in the comments and things like that. And Brian can respond to comments as well. Reach out there for the contact information.
Yep.
I can't thank you enough for coming out. I can't thank you enough for your willingness to be raw. I pray that whoever needs to hear this message hears it immediately and hears it often.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for what you're doing. I'm excited that we're doing this together. And I praise you, brother, for what you're doing.
Well, I thank you for the opportunity and for the blessing. And, I could tell when I was up there at that business breakfast, I looked down, we made eye contact several times, and I could see the smile and I could see you nod. And I was like, I feel like that guy's going to come talk to me afterwards. I don't know why. And you did. And within 5 minutes, like, I was walking out to the parking lot and I was like, we are going to do some cool stuff together.
Yeah.
I just felt it immediately. It's one of those God things.
God incidents, right?
Yeah, and I got hooked up with that from a Wednesday morning Bible study that I do. Do you know Chris very well? Chris Haynes, the guy that I was sitting next to.
Yeah.
Okay,
I met him.
So he's part of my Wednesday morning Bible study, and I just asked him. I was like, I want all the speaking opportunities that I can get. I want everybody in the world to hear this story, and he was like, okay. And a few days later, I never even heard of Stone Table, and he hooked me up with that, and so then got you now here, and I'm sure more opportunities are going to arise for me to get out there, and anybody that wants to hear this story, I'll tell it all day long, man.
That's awesome. You heard it directly from him. Thank you, guys. As always, remember to be kind to each other, love God, love each other.
That's right.
Remember, no one's perfect. No one's asking you to be, and you don't have to stay broken. Stay bent. Thank you very much. We love you. God bless.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome to the Bent Christian Podcast.